Thanks, Shaka. Hi, Bia. Happy Friday. How are you, Shaka? Oh, the lighting got dark on here. My day's good. How is yours? It's raining again. It's raining again in Philly. Just another rainy day. Oh, nice. Kale, is it Kale? PNB? How's the weather there in Los Angeles? Hi, Nathan. Happy Friday. The end state feeling. Yes, Bia, exactly. I love it. Perfectly said. I couldn't have said it better myself. That is so true. That's literally it. It's feeling good. That's what's going to bring everything into you, right? That's all you need to do. Philadelphia, did you know? Philadelphia is a cheese as well as a city. Happy birthday, Lucas. Hi, Chris. Do you think that is better to let the desire go and even not think about it? Yes, if you can. It's not always easy for people to just let go of what they want, right? But by just practicing so yes, here's the thing. When you're too attached to a desire, you're thinking about it too much, or if you're thinking about it and you're worrying and you're doubting and you're not trusting, that's all resistance. So you're really only practicing releasing resistance. That'll take care of the parts of the manifestation that are causing you to drop in lower energies. That's what I try to explain. Practicing non-reaction, practicing remaining calm when you don't feel good, and doing what you can to feel good just in your everyday life is going to take care of all of that, right? It's lining you up with everything you want and releasing everything that doesn't serve you. It's only that practice that you're doing. You're only practicing remaining calm when something doesn't feel good, right? And you're otherwise you're just making the best of each moment. That's literally the only thing you're doing, guys. That's it. And the reason why you feel like at some moment you're not making progress is, again, I always explain this, is because there's a lot of unfavorable things that we created due to our programming, right? But it moves quickly. It moves quickly when you really are consistent with these practices. I promise you. And I always say, add a meditation practice, add some breath work, in those moments when you just find yourself dropping. But the more you understand that you are really always making progress, the better, you start to just relax and knowing, okay, I'm exactly where I need to be. Thanks, Nathan. So stagnation for me, Shaka, actually, I went through a period of where it was things were not moving. I didn't think they were. And I was like, is this it? Did I do all this? Yeah, I might feel a little bit at peace, but I felt like nothing's happening. But I'm telling you, right after that, Shaka, I stay consistent with everything that I practice, non-reaction, still practicing that, I more so is making it about feeling good now because I released most of all my resistance. Things do start to pick up, Shaka. They really do. You start, the advice I can give you is, and anyone else that feels like things aren't really moving, but they are at peace, is to really sit in quiet and listen for those inspired impulses. And when you get it, act on it right away. Don't hesitate. Move through with it. Because we even sometimes second guess those inspired impulses, but those inspired impulses are actually leading you to everything else. But it's going to be more of what you actually want to do, not what you feel like you have to do. I'm looking for more nice things to do next in the moment, love. Oh yeah, Rebecca. Lucas. Rebecca, yeah, so for me, this is the funny thing. When I first started making it about feeling good and, just finding anything that felt good to me, it was just like going and buying a nail polish that I like, painting my nails. And I was almost like thinking, okay, well, what do I normally like to do, right? So I would sit out and just like sit on my swing and just sit out there and relax, or, you know, maybe take a walk or something like that. So I was doing like just normal things. And like the more that I did that, the more like other things would start flowing in that I didn't even realize. Well, things that were meant for me, like doing more lives, like that was bringing me joy, but I wasn't doing that at first, right? It was leading me to those things, right? So first you're going to just do things like little things, like just simple, normal things that you probably would have done before. And then it's going to lead you to more. But I know what you mean. Yeah, Rebecca, like it literally has not stopped raining here in Philly. I thought today was going to be a nicer day. And nope, rain popped back up again. Hi, Mike. How are you? Right? I'm still seeing showers here in Philly for the weekend. Like the weather just keeps saying it's just not really going to be consistent, but I'll take any little bit of sun. I'll take. It's about giving yourself the space to calm the mind and be in the present moment. Yes, Aaron, definitely. And meditation, that's why meditation is just so important. And if you can just, and I always try to express that even if you can just take a few minutes out of your day, throughout the day, to just quiet your mind, listening to just a fan noise or a sound. I really am serious about my manifestations, guys. They're really simple. They're in my playlist. They're right there for you guys. Listen to them. Find one that helps you quiet your mind. I have ones that are soft noise. I have ones that are a loud noise. I have ones that have a beat to them. Find one you like and stick to it, because like you only need to just focus on that noise. That's going to help you quiet your thoughts in that moment and settle you down. Have a great day too. Love. Oh, thanks. Tanish, it says Tanishka. I want to say Tanisha, but I don't want to say it wrong. Oh, I'm glad, Mike. Suppose that noise and what noise? What do you mean? Suppose that noise annoys you. So if you can just find some time to just, quiet your mind for a little bit, like that's what's helping you also work through those lower energies in that moment when something comes up that doesn't feel good as well. And you can just really just calm your mind, get yourself to a good place to where you can say, okay, this is not, this is an unfavorable experience that doesn't serve me anymore, and I'm just going to stay calm and release it. Or let's say you feel like someone is coming at you, right? Someone is, you feel like they're attacking you. Remember, no one can hurt you in your reality. You're just taking it personally. And we want to learn how to not take it personally by getting ourselves to a better place so we can respond differently. We can respond from kindness and say, oh, I'm sorry, I just don't see things that way. Or however you would respond, whatever's happening in that moment, right? So it really is about getting yourself to that better place, because otherwise you keep experiencing it. I always say, like, you can leave a relationship, any type of relationship, friendship, partner, doesn't matter, and leave it, but still you're going to find that in other people until you work through it in that moment. So always do these practices, with what in the moment, because otherwise you just move to a different person, place, or thing, but you're taking yourself with you in all those things, right? So you're just going to see it in other people. So this is why non-reaction is so powerful. And you can't make a mistake if you're always practicing non-reaction. If you're practicing non-reaction, you are literally always moving towards your best life. I promise you. Always moving towards your best life. How did you know I was at McDonald's? Is there a McDonald's sign in here? I am actually at McDonald's today. Are you psychic? I get just a cheeseburger, plain, and I add bacon and extra cheese, but I forgot to add the extra cheese. And I also dip it in Chick-fil-A sauce that I have at my house. I always bring a Chick-fil-A sauce with me. And that's like my favorite little snack. How do you quiet your mind during meditation if you find it hard to? Just takes practice, Sharon. You just keep redirecting your focus, right? So that's why I said check out my meditations, because I have so many. They're called Easy Fun Meditations. They're in my playlist. I have so many of them. You'll be able to find one. You'll be able to find one that the lighting just looks weird. You'll be able to find one that you like. So scroll through all of them, like do one a day, and you'll find one that you resonate with that like really helps you quiet your mind, if that makes any sense. So just practice, try different meditation sounds that work for you. Like for me, some days it's just listening to like rain sounds or a fan, right? And sometimes I like the beat sound. I even have a guided one with breath work, and that'll put you, and then you quiet your mind. So but you're just constantly redirecting your focus, Sharon, back to that noise. And you just get better at it. You will literally get better at it. It's practice just like anything else. Say you ask for a specific job and you know and believe that job to be yours, but a job you don't wait. Say you ask for a specific job and you know and believe that job to be yours, but a job you don't really want becomes available. Do you just trust and wait for, you know what, you have to always trust with how you go in with and see how it feels in that moment, right? Sometimes we think we know what's best for us, but we really don't, angelic. So sometimes we think we know what's best for us, but we really don't. So we're still holding on to some limiting beliefs, right? But you can't go wrong by taking that job, right? But if that job just completely doesn't feel right at all, and you go there and you're like, this doesn't feel right, I wouldn't take it. But here's the thing, you can't mess up. You know why? Because I've taken plenty of jobs that I just knew probably weren't right. And I knew the whole time I was there, I would stay for like a week or two. I was like, I know this isn't right for me. But guess what? Then the other job I would go to right after that, or maybe I had a toss up between two, and I would call them and say, can I come back? The one I would say, like, is this still an open opportunity? Because, you know, I'm still interested. And then I would actually go for that other job. So, you know, like if you go to this place, this job, just, it doesn't hurt to try, right? You go and you're like, you might be surprised, or you might be like, you know what, this isn't right for me. And then you don't stay, right? You can't make a mistake. Experiences let you know what's right for you and what's not right for you. You know through life experience what feels right and what doesn't. That's why you always want to make it how you trust how you feel. Make it about how you feel. Always make things make it more about how you feel, and start getting used to that, right? Oh, this doesn't feel right, right? Especially with jobs. Like, I can't even tell you how many places I went into and I was like, I could probably force myself to stay here, but I knew in the back of my mind I wasn't going to stay. But I've been plenty of jobs where I just knew I was meant to be there. Like I was meant to be working at this place. So you focus. Yeah, so Sharon, I focus on the noise. I always go back to the noise sound. Like as my thoughts, I find them, as I find myself wandering, that's why guided meditations are really helpful, Sharon, in the beginning. Simple guided, like more of like focusing on your breathing, because you're literally focused on your breathing. You can't not, right? Take a deep breath in, hold your breath, let it out nice and slow. So you're following the rhythm of the breath, right? And then I would say do that. I have one in my link, Easy Fun Meditations. It's a guided one. So you do the breathing, and then you quiet your mind for like the last minute or so. So this way you're focusing on your breathing, and that's all you're doing, and then you're more relaxed after the breath work. The problem I run into is that I have a lot of limiting beliefs around how often good jobs come. As long as you're practicing non-reaction, I just made a video on that. Everything that's limiting you is going to disappear. As long as you're practicing remaining calm when something comes up that doesn't feel good. That's why you're using everything in your life, everything that does not feel good, as an opportunity to practice remaining calm. So that limiting belief you have around jobs right now, it'll be gone. It'll completely disappear. And the abundance mindset around how many good jobs I can land. You'll move past all of that. I somehow managed to manifest all the desires I want, except the ones I have resistance to. Well, that's normal. That's normal, Nikki. First of all, that lets you know you're a good manifester because you're aware of the things that you are manifesting. And that's extremely normal. Of course, we have resistance around, some things we have more resistance around than others, right? But as long as you are, no problem, Sharon. As long as you're consistent with these practices, practicing remaining calm when something doesn't feel good, you're going to keep releasing resistance around all those things that you feel that are bigger than, the ones that you are manifesting. But that's normal. Yes, calmness is. So I've been affirming and claiming the remote one I want. Yeah, so like for me, I don't do affirmations around manifestations. For me, it's I know it's done and I'm moving towards it in this very moment. And when you practice that, it does release a lot of resistance. When you keep reminding yourself that it's done, because it is, everything's done. Guys, every reality exists in this very moment. Every possible reality, like there's infinite realities happening in this very moment. So that means there's one of you married, there's one of you not married, there's one of you with 3 kids, there's one of you with 2 kids, there's one of you with this person, there's one, I know, that's how infinite we are. So you're only saying this is what I want to experience, and from there you're just making it about releasing resistance. When you're just making it about releasing resistance, practicing non-reaction, you're moving towards everything you want in the best way possible. That's why when people say, well, I don't know what I want, that's fine. You don't have to be clear. Just know you're moving towards your best life when you're practicing non-reaction. And trust me, you will get clear. You will get so clear. When you practice non-reaction, remaining calm and feeling the best you can in each moment, knowing now that you are the creator of your reality, it'll all take care of itself. It will literally all take care of itself. Have fun, Phil. Have fun, Philly. Philly Rick. I hope the weather stays decent. I rid myself of what was drowning me. Oh, I love that, Mike. Is it bad if I focus on removing a third party? I would recommend not doing that. I would recommend you focusing on yourself. Focusing, because to me, that's focusing on a manifestation. That means you're making a manifestation the main priority. You're putting a manifestation before you. You need to come first. You need to become a magnet to your manifestations. I know you don't have a name there, but you definitely want to just leave that be. That'll work itself out. You're focusing on you. You're focusing on filling up your own cup, being your own source of happiness, and being good without a relationship and becoming magnetic to a healthy relationship, right? So that would be my answer, and that would be my advice. That will work itself out. You just need to focus on you. Do I look here or on your YouTube channel to learn about non-reaction? I'm new here. Trisha, you can look at all of my videos. I have tons of videos on my playlist, mostly TikTok. But on YouTube, I have a lot of lives that would really help you. A lot of live videos. So YouTube, you will get all my lives, like hour-long videos of me talking like this. And for TikTok, you would watch all my videos on my playlists. They'll be really helpful for you. Also, my ebook is very helpful too if you like to read. There's like 38 pages on exactly this over and over and over again, pretty consistent. But I have so much information between the ebook, YouTube, and here, TikTok. You'll know everything. He texts me when I respond. He doesn't answer. How do I fix this? He texts me, then when I respond, he doesn't answer. You're still in Angelina, you have to put the focus on you. That's it. That's the answer. The answer is take your attention away from that. You're still being triggered. This is still not a version of the relationship that you want. This is not the reality you want. So what do? We focus on us. We give ourselves, we fill up our own cup. We start having fun on our own. You want to get yourself to where you're happy without the relationship. That's how you're going to attract a healthy relationship. That's it. Whenever you're experiencing something in a relationship, guys, that's unfavorable and you're like, this doesn't feel good to me, all you're doing is just redirecting all that focus onto you. What can I do right now that feels good? What do I love to do? I'm going to just go take a ride and I'm going to go buy my favorite drink, right? Because that's a reality that you don't want. You don't want that. That doesn't feel good. So you take anything that doesn't feel good, you're only practicing non-reaction. You're remaining calm, getting yourself to a place to where you can feel good. And then just start focusing on you. Join the face. Oh, yes. Oh, hi, Sherry. Also, I'm sorry, Trisha, our private Facebook, if you're not already in there, join our private Facebook group as well. Hi, Dream. It's not really that tall, but I guess it does look it. It's so good today. They made it so good today. So if he texts me, do I just ignore it? No, you're not ignoring it. Just respond from a good place. If he texts you, you say hi, right? You just be yourself. Be yourself. Don't think you're thinking way too much into it. If you are still being triggered, okay, and this just isn't feeling good, this relationship right now, the best thing you should do for yourself is say kindly to the person, like, you know what, I'm going to take a break and I'm just going to focus on me. If you trust in your end and what you want in a relationship, it will unfold perfectly fine for you. If you trust that, do you trust that it's done? Do you trust that the healthy version of this relationship exists? If you truly trust that, then you would be able to say in a kind way, I'm going to focus on me for a while. That's it. You're not hurting anyone. You're not playing any games. You're literally focusing on yourself. And just allow that. But truly, you have to focus on yourself. You can't keep reaching out. You can't keep seeing if there's any changes yet. That's not focusing on yourself, right? You have to truly give yourself that love and attention. Should I ignore my SP when he's not the version of him I want? We're in no contact, but I see him daily. You're not like ignoring someone. You're not being rude. You're just literally focusing on you. You're just being, you can still be kind to people. You can still be nice, right? We're not playing games here. We're not playing mental games. We're just being ourselves. We're just being our own source of happiness. We're not focused on that's focusing on a manifestation. We don't want to focus on a manifestation. We just want to focus on us and filling up our own cup and becoming, stable and secure on our own, right? So if someone remember, nobody can hurt you in your reality. You're just taking it personally in that moment. And that goes for anyone in your reality, right? Partner or just a family member or a friend. If you think someone's being mean to you, you're just taking it personally. It has nothing to do with you, right? So in that moment, we just get really calm, we get really kind, and we say, you know what? This doesn't fit in my reality right now, right? And we just say, this doesn't work for me. And you keep doing these practices, and eventually everything will work in your favor. Recently had a breakup and my friends are busy. Seeing this as a gift and time to refocus on me. So what do you mean by your friends are busy? But I would say, don't speak to your friends about the breakup, right? Because then sometimes it just keeps bringing that up. But yes, that's always like a gift. Anything that's making you, forcing you to focus on yourself. This is why when people tell me this person blocked me or they stopped talking to me, I say, don't you realize that's a gift from yourself? That's a gift for you to focus on you. So I would agree with that as well. That is a gift to focus on you, right? Because that's really what this is all about. No problem. I don't know. I don't know what your picture is. It's like headphones, and is it like a piece of cake or something? But no problem. Yeah, so just remember, guys, it's all about you. This is all about you and releasing resistance. And we do that by truly focusing on ourselves and practicing non-reaction and feeling the best we can in each moment without needing something outside of us to make us feel good, right? It's just like, okay, what can I do right now? What do I love to do? I absolutely love drinking tea. Like, I could just sit, drink a cup of tea, and sit outside. So, like, I could do that for a full hour, right? I love to meditate, and I recommend meditation. I could just take a drive and, sit in my car and do a live. Like, these are things that I like to do. And that's literally all you're doing. Yeah, Heather, I know. Like, I know it's a very, I know certain things people don't understand with where you're at and understanding this. So when I say, like, therapy, depending on, some therapists actually know about manifestation, right? But they tell you that, and they don't really practice therapy in that way anymore. But some don't. I know therapists that have reached out to me and said they've used my content to help their patients, right? But that's a therapist that gets it, that your thoughts create reality, but some don't. So they're just bringing up the experience over and over again when you talk to a therapist or a friend or a family member that doesn't understand this. That's why I always say you have to know who you're speaking to, because if they don't understand that your thoughts create reality, we're just going to keep these old stories active. And that's why I say you can't go wrong by just practicing non-reaction and remaining calm and being your own best friend in those moments, right? Meaning, oh, I missed it. My mom and sister are both therapists, and all we did was go over. Yeah, and no fault to them, Heather, because they don't understand. That's how they were taught. And that's why when people always ask me the question of, but you're teaching people to suppress your emotions. And I said, no, that's an outdated term. You cannot suppress your emotions when you understand that your thoughts create your reality. Once you know your thoughts create your reality, there's no such thing as suppressing your emotions. Not if you're practicing non-reaction, not if you're remaining calm when something comes up that doesn't feel good, because remaining calm when something comes up that doesn't feel good is releasing unfavorable stories very gracefully. It's the best way to do it. So there's no such thing as suppressing your emotions. You can't they don't stay stuck inside of you, right? Especially when you know this. The only way they stay stuck inside of you is if you keep reacting. It's all reaction. Have faith. Everything is unfolding for you no matter. Exactly, Dream. So you don't really want to see, so you don't have to really see a therapist. You just want to see, even be careful. Guys, I stopped coaching. I want to explain this to you guys, and be careful about even if you're reaching out to a manifestation coach, because in the beginning when I started I stopped coaching and I started it up again. But when I first started coaching, guys, I had to stop because everybody at first wants to talk about their old story over and over again. And I knew this wasn't right. I knew that, like, I wasn't really, it was 1 hour sessions. That's not really going to help anyone. That's why I like group coaching, because it's more of a longer process of helping people release resistance, right? I would like to gear more towards group coaching, because you will be able to release resistance, because your one coaching session, I'm sorry, I just think it's not even worth it. I think you're wasting your money. Like, I'm just being truthfully honest. And I know I started up again because people beg me to start coaching again. But I feel like that 1 hour, yeah, I can throw some things out, but you can get all that just by watching my videos. You know what I mean? So I think people need more of a 2 to 3 month stretch of like mentoring coaching to help release resistance when they're in those lower energies. Which honestly, you can get a lot of that in my private Facebook group. Yeah, stream. And I think that's what it really truly comes down to, is being able to I always used to say I'm my own therapist, Dream. That's so funny. Always growing up, like, I'm my own therapist, because you want to be able to trust your inner guidance. So that's the goal. The goal is to be able to trust yourself in each moment, right? You don't want to have to ever depend on anyone else, because you have all the answers within you. Group coaching sounds a little better because there's a people with similar. Yeah, but like even group coaching, you know, like it's sometimes like our private Facebook group is so positive and uplifting. Nobody really talks about old stories. You know, yes, people ask for advice, but nobody's going ranting about what's going wrong in their lives. You know, they ask questions for clarity, but for the most part, it's very positive, it's very uplifting, and it keeps us moving forward, because you want to make sure you're always moving forward, right? You don't want to, like, if you're seeking out a coach, sometimes you're just staying still, you're staying stagnant, you're not actually moving forward talking to a coach, because you're asking about these issues. What about this? What about that? What should I do about this, right? And you're kind of not getting anywhere. It's like one session that is kind of keeping you stuck. It's right in our link, in my link there. You'll see it. If you scroll down, you'll see private Facebook group. Any advice for when the opposite comes up and it feels too emotional? Angela, just consistently practice calming yourself down in those moments. This is a good thing. When something comes up, and I know some things want to take you to your knees, Angela, but these things are a blessing. They're helping you release them, okay? So when something comes up, even though it is so bad, you're going to do breath work, Angela. You're going to breathe slower. You're going to rest into that as much as possible. You're going to breathe slower. You're going to say, everything's working in my favor. I'm exactly where I need to be. This has to come up in order for me to release it. You're going to quiet your thoughts around it as much as possible, and know that it is fading out of your life in this moment, right? So yes, these stories do come up. You do react at first, but then we use it as an opportunity to practice non-reaction, Angela, and it will go away. I promise you. So, you know what? I never did the spiritual realtor. I never did EFT tapping. I never did it. I always just went right to breath work. But that's something to add. Hey, listen, if you're in a panic or a spiral and you're doing breath work and you can do something else that's going to help you, use it to your advantage. How long does it take for you to feel calm when we are very triggered? It's always different. Keish, it's always different. Like I always say, sometimes it could take a minute, sometimes it could take an hour, and sometimes it might take a day. You might have a day of resistance, right? But it's okay, because you're always making progress if you just keep relaxing into that resistance and breathing through it. But the thing about it is, Keish, is that it does get less and less, right? And it does get easier the more you do these practices. Like, I don't have really any resistance right now. I can tell you right now, guys. Like, your life literally just becomes what you want it to be. You're just a master manifester, like, is how I explain it. Some days I feel really good, and the next I keep thinking about the past. Any tips? So again, that's all resistance. It's you just know if you're doing this practice. I don't want to say your name wrong. Shika. Just know if you're doing these practices, you're always making progress. You're literally all of those things are the same. I always say, like, wait, how do I work on self-concept? Just know that anything that doesn't feel good is resistance, and you're just practicing calmness in that. Past, future, it doesn't matter. Present, it's all the same. Resistance is resistance, and we're just remaining calm in those moments. How do I work on self-concept besides affirming I'm loved? So I don't teach self-concept. This takes care of it. Practicing non-reaction and feeling the best you can in each moment, putting yourself first. You don't have to do any affirmations. To me, personally, affirmations are telling you that you're not those things. You're automatically those things. You were born those things. You're born worthy. You're born deserving. How you know I always say, like, in order for you to know that, you just focus on you and loving you and giving yourself that attention. And in each moment, you practice release and resistance. Self-concept will take care of itself. You're going to become confident and secure in who you are because you're going to be loving your life and doing things that you want to do. You'll become a magnet. So it's okay if we did react. Yeah, it's actually normal to react, Sharon. It's normal. It's very normal to react. You're going to be reacting a lot. When you first understand this and you're aware, you're going to always, because you're getting rid of all those stories. So they have to come up first. So they come up and we're like, oh my God, why is this happening? And then we're like, nope. This is an old reality that I don't want to experience anymore, right? And in those moments, we practice remaining calm. So that's very normal to react. So always know that. Don't make yourself upset because you reacted. You have to react so you can practice calmness in that moment to release that old story. The thing is you're just going to keep reacting less and less. And also, what is resistance? Resistance is any old unfavorable story. I say old, but let's just say unfavorable story, thought, or experience that does not serve you anymore. That's what resistance is. Resistance is guilt. Resistance is doubt. Resistance is fear. Resistance is any thought, experience, story that does not serve you anymore, okay? Spiraling, panicking, negative, this or that, any lower energy is resistance. I'm sorry I didn't explain that better. Thanks for the likes, guys. My voice got super high. I agree, and it's so nice to hear what I believe and said back to me. Oh, I love that. Claudia. Hi, Claudia. That's such a great advice. I find it easier to be happy and myself than try to work on self. Oh, see, now you release resistance around having to do self-concept work. So I knew right away I didn't resonate with any of that. I went down that whole rabbit hole as well and learning different ways to do things. And I knew that when you're doing something to manifest self-concept for a manifestation, that's way hard. You're making it, you're actually keeping yourself very limited doing it that way, okay? So just know that anything that doesn't feel good just doesn't serve you. And in those moments, we're just remaining calm. And just also know that you're always moving forward, guys. That's the most important advice I can give to all you guys. If you're doing the practices that I say, practicing remaining calm and feeling the best you can in each moment, you are always moving forward. I promise you. Oh, thanks for the likes, guys. I like that I read these comments backwards, so like it's funny how they come in because I have to scroll up to see if I missed anything. I do tapping. I think my movement is good. Do you always have pleasant reactions from others once you set your boundaries? I do, Dream. I do. Because you know what it is, Dream? How I can best... Yes, I have amazing relationships with people in my life. I always did, though, because I always was kind. I'm just going to be truthfully honest. And I was always kind, so I just never thought about it to be any different. But I had to go through things also, so I changed a lot of my life. So I felt like I had to relearn a lot of this stuff, even though I already knew it. So it all comes back to me now to understand that everything's just reflecting back to you, right? And yes, I've changed a lot. So I had to learn also, again, not to take things personally because I'm changing and I might not connect with a lot of the same people that I used to now. But yes, I always I have great relationships with people in my life. And like I always say, people are going to match you with where you're at, or they're going to fade out of your life and you're just not going to see them anymore. And when you do see them, it's going to be a good encounter, if that makes any sense. Yes, Christine, I'm glad you mentioned that. And oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting to add it to my videos. I'm so glad you said that. This is my memory. Yes, if anybody sees my name out there, guys, I will never reach out to you guys. I know there's people pretending to be me. I will never reach out to you. I don't do readings. I'm not a psychic. I don't reach out to anybody ever. So if anybody ever reaches out to you, report them ASAP, right on the spot. Just report them. And thank you for all you guys who have been reporting them. Deal with men being inconsistent, interested yet inconsistent, should be open, but... Oh, okay. So with that question, Michelle, Michelle, I would say take a break from relationships. This is how you're going to bring in a really healthy relationship. Take a break from relationships and focus on you now. Focus on feeling good without a relationship, Michelle. That's how you're going to be a magnet to a healthy one. When you get yourself to a place, Michelle, where you're like happy and you're like, you know what? I feel good. Like, I feel like confident in who I am. I'm loving my life without somebody. That's when somebody comes in that's right for you. What do you think about visualizing? I think visualization is natural, Grace. Visualization is something that the more you do these practices, it kind of just happens. Like when you find yourself you don't have to don't force a visualization scene. Do it because you're relaxed and you're doing it to enjoy it, right? It's like, oh my gosh, like it kind of just flows, right? It's not so much like I have to do this because this is the only way things will manifest. Don't do that because that's going to give you resistance. Just, you're sitting there and you're just like, I'll sit there and I'll relax and I'll start envisioning of like the home, like a home, a future home or a vacation, right? And it'll just flow through me. I'm not forcing it. And it's just very natural and very enjoyable. Thanks. Trusting the process. Everything is unfolding perfect. Exactly, Dream. You're so positive, Dream. Do you see a connection between your manifestations and prophetic dreams? So, sometimes, Kathy, I'll have a dream and like it actually happens the next day, but nothing in regards to my manifestations. No, I don't. Like, I don't have dreams like that let me know something is manifesting. I don't even remember most of my dreams. My dreams are silly. So I don't put meaning on my dreams. I didn't know if my shirt was down there for a minute. I don't put like a meaning or anything. I just say a dream is a dream. If I have a good dream, it's awesome. If not, I don't take it personally, if that makes sense. I believe that we're all gods. Like, we're all aspects of that. It's just, to me, it's just a loving energy, and you know, we're all that loving energy. So whatever you want to label it or call it, it doesn't matter. It's source, it's love, it's pure positive energy. So that's how, God, I would say God because I grew up Catholic, but it's just a label. It's just, you know what I mean? It's still source, it's still love and light, it's pure positive energy. But like I said, I would say God because, but my kids aren't Catholic, so if I were to say God to them, they'd be like, who's God, right? It's just love and light, it's pure positive, you know, energy. Do you mind? That's cool. Like, yeah, my dreams, I forget them in the morning, but sometimes I remember them, but they're usually pleasant, positive dreams. Occasionally I have a weird dream where I'm like, what the heck? And then sometimes I have dreams where they literally happen the next day. Like, I'm not even kidding, like to a T. Oh, my eyebrows are flawless today. You never know what you're going to get with eyebrows. That's what I always say. What's the best way to manifest? Ava's not in here. Ava, it always says, and this is true, the best way to manifest is not to manifest, right? The best way is knowing, your name is Kevin. You just knowing that every possible reality exists in this very moment, Kevin, and knowing that whatever you want to experience is already done. It's happening right now. So you don't have to do anything to manifest what you want, okay? The only thing that you're doing is releasing what doesn't serve you anymore. And you do that by just making it about how you feel. So when something doesn't feel good, you remain calm. And you release that by remaining calm, by not speaking about it to anyone and just remaining calm, and it'll pass. And the more you do that, the more you start to experience what you want, your manifestations. In the meantime, you're just feeling good. You're feeling the best you can in each moment. And manifesting money, I seen Christine, you posted that. I do not manifest money. I will never manifest money. That kept me in a loop as well. And that is having money have control of you all the time. If you're going to manifest money, money is always going to have a hold on you. You want to manifest doing things you love. You want to manifest, money comes when I do things I love. You want to manifest more about when I feel good, more money comes into my life. You want to manifest that you have everything you need right now, and you're only going to grow and expand from there. right? I'm always provided for. I'm always taken care of. I have everything I need right now. That brought me peace. Manifesting money did not bring me peace. I still had scarcity. Like, oh, what if it doesn't come? Or what if it does come? Once you let go of that, money will start flowing into your life in the perfect timing. I'm writing a new book, guys, and it's going to have these in it. It's going to have about money, relationships, your dream body. So it's going to be more specific topics. Also releasing resistance, like, and how, like, kind of a little bit of how it all unfolded for me, those things. What do you think about subliminals? So when it came to subliminals, I didn't like them personally. If you like them, if they feel good to you, and then do them. But what happened with me with subliminals is actually funny. I was getting the weirdest, scariest, freakiest dreams from them. So for me, they just gave me a reaction that I didn't like. Some people absolutely love them, and that's perfectly fine. I think if you're sleeping, do whatever. You don't really have resistance at night anyway when you're sleeping. If you want to use them, use them. And if they feel good to you, then use them. But for me, I didn't like them. So it's really up to you. But again, you don't have to do anything to manifest. So just remember that. If you're doing them to manifest something, I would say not to, because that may cause resistance. Thanks, Christine. Thank you. I've used subs and they don't work. Yeah, Heather, I didn't like them either. I just didn't like, again, that kept me in that other chasing mode either. So I didn't resonate with that. I got away from all of that very quickly. Having to do something to manifest, that was very short-lived for me. How long did it take you to release all of your resistance and get where you are? Probably when I was like, I've been doing this stuff not for that long. I've always been very aware, though. I will say that. So I would say I've been on this journey for, like, aware that we create our own realities for about over 3 years now. Releasing resistance, now that I can look back, I've always been releasing resistance. But I think I really got super serious about it within, like, the past year. And that, I've seen tremendous changes in my life. I think most recently I can say I released all my resistance around things, because things are really starting to flow into my life now, like things. But I had a space also where there was nothing happening. But I think that's necessary as well. You're cleaning up all, like, the energy, and then there is a quiet space where you think, like, does this even work? Like, did I just do this to just have nothing in my life, right? But that's part of the process as well. So probably about a year. I'd say probably about a year about being super serious. Like, that's it. Like, I'm just going to do this practice so consistently. And what I can recommend is definitely add meditation to it, and meditation and breath work, which I think meditation speeds things along as well. But yeah, so just be careful with subliminals, because they may be also keeping you on that hamster wheel as well. I'm reading. Oh yeah. Someone told me that the untethered soul, that I talk about the same things that he talks about, which is so cool. And it reminds you of infinite intelligence, and where we're getting all this from is that you guys are getting it all from that too, right? It's all here for us, right? We don't have to research anything or find these things out. They're going to come to you when you're ready, right? So all this information will find you, right? So, like, they say, like, that I sound like what he says from the untethered soul. I can't think of his name. And I'm like, well, it makes sense, like, because we're getting all this information from, it's all here for us. It's literally, everything is here. What do you mean by breath work? So, Sharon, breath work for me is whenever, like, I would find myself in a panic, or like a story was coming up that was just, like, putting me to the ground, you know, like one of those stories, or just because, like, I was in a lower energy, I would do breath work where I would take a deep breath in, and I would hold my breath, and then I would do stomach pump in and out, just literally breathe like in and out while I was holding my breath, until I couldn't hold my breath anymore, and then I would let my breath out nice and slow. And I would repeat that. I would repeat that over and over again until I felt better. That releases resistance. And it like calms you down. And it's a good practice to do consistently. Everything is done. We just have to align with the frequency. Yes, Dream. And how you align with the frequency. Dream just said everything is done. We just have to align with the frequency. And how you're aligning with that frequency is you're feeling good just doing anything. You're only creating a feel-good atmosphere within you. Creating a feel-good atmosphere within you is aligning you with everything you want. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. That's going to be in my book too, about like weight loss and manifesting that as well. Again, remind yourselves this. Nothing has meaning until you place the meaning. That's why my meaning on McDonald's cheeseburgers is that they're delicious and I love them. And I don't look at it as like they're bad for me. It's just food that I love and I enjoy, right? So like you're placing meaning on everything in your reality, guys. And this is why you want to practice feeling good, because when you start to feel good, you're automatically going to put good meanings on everything because you're changing your mindset. It is a mindset shift, right? Hi, Bruce. Okay, I am gonna jump off here, guys. I'll probably be on later on today. If anybody's around later, I'll jump on. But again, I post these on my YouTube, so you can find these on my lives on my YouTube, and you can join our private Facebook group, which is Bashar. I love Bashar, Claudia. I've been listening to him again. And you know what? You know what's so great about Bashar? It's another reminder of I know exactly what I'm expressing to you guys and teaching is right. It's right on point, because everything he says reminds me of what I say. It's very similar. And even Abraham Hicks. So I know, like, and obviously my own experience, it's showing me every day. So just keep moving forward with these practices, guys, and you are going to literally be living your best life. I promise you. So yes, so private Facebook group, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Of course. I know, isn't he awesome? I love him too. No problem, Sharon. I can't see the names. It's like so bright out here. All of a sudden it's bright. It was just raining. All right, but I'm going to jump off, guys. Everyone have a good rest of the day. If I don't see any of you guys, have a really good weekend, okay? Bye, guys. Love you guys. Thank you guys for moderating for me. Love you guys. Bye-bye. I'll be back later.